Oh, easy there, Turbo. Let's not have a repeat. Like I said, though, there are certain things of this column I like more than the existing one anyway. How the steering or the horn plate's actually bolted to the wheel. Way nicer design. Little details like that hazard switch on this. Definitely cooler than the one that I got. And probably more robust, so it has its benefits. And as long as, you know, this turn signal switch is good and little things like that, who cares? You know what I mean? So at this point, where we at? We got to do our snap ring. How am I gonna do that? That shaft's got to be kind of pushed on to compress that spring. Let's see if I can't manage this. Problem is that's not going the direction I want you to. That was not too bad. Cool, dude. We're not clamped real tight in the vise, but we're limited on our clamping surfaces. And I'm on one of the column mounts. And it's got this plastic piece in there I would prefer not to break, so. Alright, let's get this guy back in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately there's just too many differences between the two columns to reliably make this swap work for just the turn signal switch. With that, I mean, it's just easier to swap the entire column. I mean, I paid for the whole column, right? So that feller will go in there like so. And then gotta figure this whole deal back out. So we got our actuating rod there. Then this deal slides up in there. And then with any luck, that lines up right in there. Maybe. Where's my light? Buddy, you're right there. Come on. Man, getting that deal lined up is a chore. Doesn't look like it's, looks like it's perfectly lined up. Got it. That good and tight again, huh? I like it. Let's get our turn signal switch screwed down now. I went ahead and looked at the mounting plate up on the firewall. I mean, it just visually looking at it, it looks close enough, so I'm gonna do the right thing and go through the process of actually taking the column completely out of the truck before we figure out if it will fit or not. I have a pretty good feeling it probably will. I mean, it's the same generation of truck, same era. They're close enough year range that I'm sure the differences I'm seeing here just have to do with a fixed column versus a tilt column. And in all honesty, does the guy really need a tilt column? No. If I was 700 pounds, I wouldn't fit behind that wheel anyway, so. High beam switch. Sweet. Hazards. Oh, hazards. Or I think in is on, or maybe it's out. I don't know. That's just a cooler switch. What a fucking treat. All right. Back with it. Let's do, where are we at? I think we're ready to put the wheel back on? Maybe? We're out of parts already? Yeah, okay, let's get our steering wheel. So, pull the old column out. I'm going to start by pulling the 4 bolts at the rag joint. They are a 12.10 mil. Oh, we don't have an interlock in, do we? Dang. Never mind, I'm gonna have to reassemble the column just to have an interlock to break those loose. So, do that first. So, I put the column in the truck back together on the inside there. Got it into the interlocked position. Went ahead, broke all 4 bolts loose, took the 2 going from this side in completely out, and I'll pull the rag joint out with the column. I am going to swap my rag joints because that one is in a hell of a lot better condition than the donor column. Popped our transmission shift linkage off, just goes into that. So from there we have some black witter webs, hopefully he's not here, and 3 maybe ½ inch, I'd say ½ inch nuts there, and we'll take those off next. So we got the 2 right here all loosened up, we got 1 left. And for the record, they are a 1/2 inch. Ah, come on. There we go. Keep hitting that switch on the ratchet, I think. Okay. Now from here, we'll go disconnect any more connectors that might be on that column. And there will be 2 bolts that secure the column to the dash frame. We'll zip those out and should pull right out of there. Actually a pretty simple column in this one. So as it turns out, our 2 mounting bolts to the dash frame are a 7/16. They are the 2 we're focused on right here, and right there. We'll pull those out. The only other connector I have is the ignition switch, which is up on the top. So after I drop it down, I'll unplug that. That's this harness right here. The high beam switch had a connector there. I already unplugged that. So I'll drop it down, then we'll unplug the ignition switch. Okay, so we got our old column out. We're prepping the new one. The bolts on this rag joint have definitely seen better days. So we'll try to heat them up and dip some wax in them, and with any luck, we'll break the bolt loose rather than break the bolt. I mean, I guess, actually, you know, I might not waste my time with this. We'll try it on this one and see what happens. No, we're going to cut the heads off. We're not going to waste our time doing that. Because they thread into this flat stock on the other side of the rag joint. So I'll just cut the 2 heads off, slide them out. Let me get a grinder out. crusty rusty though, huh? At least that way I can try to drive it out from here, you know. There it is. Probably ought to have done that in the first place, but hindsight. There you have it. Jeez, that thing is crusty. And then we gotta revitalize everything we damaged with the grinder. Great. I like making more work for myself. No one ever. Alright. I'm gonna clean some of this up and get the welder out. Alright, let's put some metal back into all the metal we removed. Got to build that back up. That was the bad side, and that filled it real nice. We'll go back at it with the flap wheel and smooth it all out when we're done here. So we got plenty of build up there. Should be good. So I'll let it cool down, hit it with the flap wheel, and show you the finished product in a bit. Okay. Replacement column is in the truck. Go ahead and function check everything. Left turn. Right turn. Hazards. Horn. What else? I even got the shift indicator lined up decently. crazy there. And we did not have high beams before. I didn't swap on my high beam switches. I have high beams now. Can't see that. Oh, there you can. Yeah, I got high beams now, so that's cool. Still starts. America. Now, everything on the inside's good. Did run into one other issue. About that. Seems as though our new column is longer than our old column, which, them standing side by side, I already knew that. So at this point, what we're going to do, I mean, our transmission linkage obviously went in just fine. What we're going to do is we'll pull that steering shaft down from the slip joint there, and then I'll take this shaft to the bench. After I get a measurement here, we'll cut this shaft, shorten it, weld it back together, and I'm going to go down to the hardware store and get a piece of steel tube that's the same ID as the OD of this tube. Then we'll sleeve that joint and then weld that. Be hefty, never break kind of thing. Because, you know, steering is pretty crucial to most things. But regardless, I did notice one other difference here is between, you know, a 90 and an 88, I suppose, and a tilt versus a fixed column, is the orientation of how this rag joint bolts up. So with the wheel straight ahead, where I'm currently at, and with the tires on the truck straight ahead, we are not lined up. These holes would line up with these holes, which these need to be 90 degrees and go there. So I'm going to have to spin the shaft after I cut it 90 degrees and then weld it up like that, if that makes any sense. But we'll finish this up tomorrow. I'm going to call it a night. The sun's going down, and it's beer 30, so get back with you tomorrow. Well, it's the next day. I didn't film me shortening this steering shaft, but here's the finished product. Took 2 3/4 inches out of the shaft, and then beveled both ends of it, burned a real hot pass around that, and then sleeved it with a piece of 3/4 inch ID tube, and welded that both ends. So it's nice and straight, turned out perfectly straight, and nice and solid. So turns out you can convert one of these to a fixed column out of a earlier truck with, you know, some effort. But works. I got turn signals again, I got wipers, I got high beams, I got it all. So back in business. It's a job I've been putting off for a while, and it's about time I got it done. So appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.